Hello and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be revisiting a game I played quite a while ago. This is Production Line, a game that I very much enjoyed. It has since had many updates and in fact a couple of recent DLCs, so I'm going to see how things have changed. Now I shall say I'm going to be playing around currently on free play. Partly so I can show off some of the new stuff, and partly because it actually takes a while to kind of build the factory, be able to get to even vaguely close to any of the new stuff. So we're going to start off with everything unlocked kind of a factory. It's still quite fun trying to build these efficient systems, if you will. Now, I have an idea for this, and I have no idea if it's going to work. Absolutely none whatsoever. I'm playing on kind of the I can't remember what the name of this, long narrow factory, to give it its technical term. You can build your own custom maps, and there are a whole bunch of different ones to select from as well, if you so wish. We are going to start with building the car. The aim of the game is simple. You're going to automate a, production line to try and as efficiently as possible make cars, and then you ship them out and you sell them, etc. So we're going to start by actually building the production line, and then we're going to sort out the cars that we're going to be building. Now, you can start off with just building through all of these, so just have a chassis assembly where it does everything all in one go, or you can break it down into the smaller component parts, like fit a front axle, fit a rear axle. Now, the more broken down the production line is, the more efficient it is. The quicker it will run, the quicker it will build cars. But you need lots of different things to work, and normally you'd have to research these, so this will be later in game. But we're going to start straight away with building, from the axles onwards. So my plan, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but my plan is basically we're going to build the main bit of the car down here, and when it gets to paint, we're going to try and spread, so you have, paint is the bit that takes the longest time, basically. So we're going to try and have some cars end up going this way and some cars go this way. We're going to kind of start the production line here. The paint is where there's going to be problems, or where there might be a delay, so we will then, in theory, save some time doing that. So that is making the chassis, basically. We've got fuel tank there, and that's that done. Then we have the body. Now, again, this can be broken down into more subcategories. I think that's all of the categories. Oh no, the front bumper has to have its own bits and pieces. So you can, sometimes you will have to go a little bit further away. There is a conveyor belt that will go between all of these things. Front bumper, that can go there. Rear bumper, that can go there. Yes, okay, we're going to have to twist it this way. Now, there's going to be something that's going to have a slightly longer conveyor belt journey. Let's not worry about that for now. Bottom trim, front arches, rear arches, vent. There we go. Okay, and this is only the basic bit of the car. We've fitted a vent. Oh, and then we've got to fit the roof, and then we've got to fit all the doors. So that will fit the roof on the car, and then fit doors. Can go there, fit windows. We'll spin it around, and we'll start taking it back this way, and then fit wing mirrors. Can go there. And then it will come to painting. Right, so that should be the basic way of getting the car built. There will be a big old long conveyor belt that goes through here. Now, I've got to be careful. Make sure there is a gap because of what I want to do. It can all fit through there. Everything is all quite nicely compact. The only downside is to get the resources in, they're going to have to travel a long way. It's a problem, but I'm going to see what happens, really. Now, what we're going to do is paint. Now, this does take quite a while. The drying for these does take a fair bit. What I would recommend when it comes to painting is the reason why I would recommend this. I've played a bit of this game. I very much like this game. However, I have ideas, and I think this will work, but I could be wrong. So don't necessarily straight up take my word for it. This is from my little experience. Anyway, I don't like leaving gaps on the conveyor between the paint booths. While I will for some other stuff, especially depending on where I'm building, here I don't want to leave gaps. The reason why is cars get stacked up. Whereas with this, they are either on this line, or if there's no space in any of the booths doing something, they will then have to go up to this one, rather than having cars sat waiting. You'll see what I mean when we get going. So, that bit there will be doing its thing, and then we start going to do some mechanical stuff. So we're going to have powertrain, as in, you know, engine will fit the radiator, fit exhaust. Now, I think this is where it starts getting crazy. I mean, you're fitting brakes, you're fitting wheels, you've got your tyres going in individually. Steering column, steering wheel. As I said, this can all be done a lot simpler, but this is kind of the, I think, the more impressive way, in some ways the more fun way to do it. So lights, horn, get the seats going, windscreen up, aircon can go in, and then we fit the cabin, fit the controls. That's going to have to go this way a little bit. Fit electrics, so we'll go fit electrical components there, fit computer, heading back this way, we'll go through quality, check, and then we will export the car. And there you have it. That is a, a completed, fingers crossed, production line. This is where I've goofed something, and because I've left myself no space, a goof would be disastrous. There we have it. We will add on, hopefully, the other bits in a minute. We'll add up this way, the completed line over there. For now, we don't have to worry about that so much because we haven't got anything going on. Now, the conveyors, these are important. This will bring resources around your factory. So you will need bits, well, funnily enough, you'll need components to make your cars. Now, one of the things I'm going to have to be careful with here is these conveyors are going to get very, very busy. There's a lot going on here, so it can sometimes be advantageous to spread out what stuff is pulling in from where. So what I might do, that should all work. Now we will pull stuff in from up here for this part. So what I'm going to do, I have resource importers. I'm going to want all three of them, let's be honest here. We're going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is have this one head up to this section. So that will be solely going into there. This one is going to solely go into there, and this one is going to go into there, and possibly up to this as well. Unfortunately, whoop, and there we go. Okay, so it is all going to draw in. Unfortunately, sometimes these get a little confused. Even though one of these can be busy and completely stacked up, sometimes it doesn't want to draw from another one if it's technically quicker to sit in the queue. Yeah, basically, that will go on. Did I? Didn't connect that up there. Cool. Right, so this is now ready to go. However, I think I can delete that. However, we don't have a car for it to make. This is just the basics. So, the vehicles. Now, last time I played this game, I think we had a sedan and a compact were the only two options. As you can see now, there is much more to choose from. Sedan, SUV, compact, there's an off-roader, a sports car, pickup truck, a little van, if you so wish, and a supercar that looks quite angry. However, not only that, the latest DLC adds in the variety DLC. Basically, you get a variant of each car. Is it a massive change? No, not as such, but it's nice to have more options. You know, it's nice to have more things that you could be building. So you've kind of got old boxy SUV or more modern SUV. You can have a little Porsche Boxster or I guess kind of muscle car-esque pickup. You can get a, well, Raptor pretty much, or just standard truck. You can get a Transit if you wish. There isn't a variant for the supercar, but there we go. The other thing as well that was added in a DLC. These are only little DLCs, only £2 or £3. Where's it gone? You have the option for silly doors, basically. Do you want a gull wing door supercar? Go for it. Or butterfly doors, or scissor doors with the other one. There we go. You can go for them. I think it's the doors only work on certain body types. I believe it is sports car and supercar. Yes, they do go for whatever. Oh, okay, convertible. Yeah, they're not available. I don't think you can get a compact car with gull wing doors. But we're going to have a look and see. No, we can have a panoramic sunroof if we wish, but that's it. Anyway, so there we go. Got some variants. Now, naturally, I want to produce sports cars. They're the interesting thing for me. So we're going to make our own little muscle car. And then we get to choose all of the different things. Now, again, this would be stuff that you would unlock as you go along, but I've got everything to play around with. So, do you want the car to have air conditioning? Yeah, probably not a bad idea. We're going to give it an aluminium body. We'll make it nice and light in that one. We will give it some anti-lock brakes. We could give it some automatic headlights, not that fussed about them. So autonomy, you can actually go for full advanced self-driving cars if you want to. Research, giving alarms and central locking, and so on. Now controls, so you can have sort of touchscreen interface, for example, if you so wish. And there's so many options to go in here. The thing is, not only do these change various bits about the car in terms of selling it and whatnot, they will actually change the look of the vehicle, as you saw with the doors. But it's not just that. For example, we can have some different lights if you want. You can have LED lights or xenon lights. We'll just keep basic lights for now. I don't actually like the LED ones particularly. Sure, we'll get some in-car music, and I like the little details. For example, yeah, it's a little antenna on the top, so we'll give it some music on there. We can give it some power steering, powered seats. Now, powertrain is an interesting one as well. Not only you can have an internal combustion engine, you can have a normal one, you can have a stop-start engine, you can have a hybrid, you can go for fast engines, you can go electric if you so wish. I think a super fast engine is a good idea. Or is that better for a supercar? Maybe we should go fast engine. Then you can also now build different specs of cars. This is where it gets really, really complicated. So I could build a spec of these with a lot more features and another version with a lot less features and sell it for less and all of that sort of thing. It starts getting crazy, really. I think we should perhaps go for... Shall we go for a convertible? Let's go for a convertible. And then we'll go with... we could get a spare wheel, don't want that. Spoiler! Now, this is important. You can have active spoilers, more expensive, probably a little bit better. Also costs more bits to make as well. So not only is it more expensive to make, you need to get more parts in, which can be a drain on your resources. We'll just do that. Front vent. So this, again, will change the look of the car, depending on what you want. So you can have just normal vent, you can have a mesh vent, you can get rid of it entirely, make it terrifying Tesla face, or that's also... No, I think I'll go with the mesh. I quite like that. We'll get rid of that. We can have different wheels. You can have gold wheels if you want. I quite like the matte black wheels, actually. They all work on that. You can have a wooden dashboard if you so desire. And there we go. And then you've got to change your price to sell to hope the car makes some profit. And then, hopefully, change schedule. We want to go and... add a new entry. We want to add in the sports car, so there it is. Now I haven't actually been naming it, but you can give that a name. So we're not producing the sedan, we just want to make the sports car. Okay, now that's good. There will be one slight problem. Extra robots, upgrade everything. Everything gets lots of robots. Now the one slight difficulty, of course, is I've got to be entirely fresh. This wouldn't normally be a thing that you'd end up coming up against. But basically you have to buy all of the little individual bits here. So for example, you want electric windows. You have to buy that as an upgrade for that section. Have we got bits? It's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while to get production started because you've got to get bits all into the right place. That's just how it will go. Once it's got stuff in, there we go. And now it will start. And what you can also do is this thing, early stock consumption. Sorry. That will figure out what it's doing fairly quickly. So, off goes our little car. Now, this is a pretty efficient system. There will be something that will stop it. So this is going to want... This is what I say. You're going to have to upgrade... I've got to upgrade stuff here. Actually, it won't matter because I only got one slot for that. So that's not going to do... And I've got to basically tell it you need to do an aluminium body on this car. Or you can work on that. And then we'll probably have to do... spoiler. Yes, we will want to be able to do... Spoiler. And there we go. Off goes the robots to work building the car. And now you can already see where there's going to be a backlog. At the moment, it's waiting for resources, waiting for the aluminium basically to come in for the body. So then we figure out, okay, that's a problem. Can I fix that problem at the moment? Might not be able to. We might not actually be able to fix that for now. So it's going to trundle along here. It'll probably crash into something that... vents. I think I've got that one. So we will go and hopefully work on the mesh. Right, so that's going to want an open top. Basically, this is just telling it that it can, I think, make a convertible rather than actually needing to import any more resources. Central locking, yeah. So we've got to go around and buy bits and pieces that I can't remember. Right, I'm going to run this quickly. We're going to go buy all the little bits and pieces, and then we'll come back and see how the factory's doing. Right, so here we have the factory now in full swing, pretty much. We have got cars being built, but as you can see, we have a rather big backlog. I had to cut off this one here slightly because cars started to get stacked up, and I hadn't finished off the rest of the line. That is now done. That is all running. But as you can see, yeah, the paint booth is now starting to cause some grief. The rest of this is all actually working fairly smoothly. It's working fairly smoothly. I say fairly, that's probably the best way to put it. So, what you're going to do is stick in that conveyor. Now that's going to send some extra cars now down this way, and then that will start stacking up them down here. So here we go, got another little bit of a line going on. Of course, now this means I'm making a lot of sports cars. Okay, we're making an awful lot of these things going through the factory. Not necessarily a bad thing, of course, but we have got a lot of sports cars. Actually, so I call these muscle cars. It kind of looked like it initially from the picture, but from the back they look a lot more like a... Certainly, once the roof's taken off and from the back they kind of look like a Jaguar F-Type. A little bit. I mean, these are kind of just a little bit generic-looking vehicles. But yeah, with the roof off and from the back, it is kind of... there we go, like from that angle. Roof off, spoiler... Yeah, could see it. Anyway, so there we go. Now we're going to have that problem down there. So this is a game that's about constantly figuring out, right, where's the bottleneck? Well, paint is the bottleneck really at the moment. So what I can do is if we were to do this, dry finish, and then, because I left a gap there, so what I can do is have that turn up, and we could have, if that other lane is full, we've then got another place the cars can go to get painted. So the idea is we can keep making cars, because back here, this can support way more than we are currently able to paint. And then if we can paint them faster, where we're going to hit into problems next? Is it going to be fitting the powertrain? Doesn't look like it. Now what we can also do is I've got here everything upgraded with all the robots. So basically there's as many robots as you can get on these bits. Basically it makes these as efficient as possible. Now what we also can do is... by faster drying. So these things will now dry the cars. It's the drying that's the time-consuming bit, I think. Possibly, we'll see. And then that might do the trick. And then if we get the paint sorted and all of this works, there'll probably be something else up here that's going to slow it down. Maybe it'll be importing of all the resources. That can be a slowdown as well, and there are ways to improve. I think my way of working the imports is actually not going too badly. I've still got one I could go to up there. There's a cat meowing in the background. Cass, do you want to have your input on... car production lining? Car production lining? Apparently he does. Cass, where are you? Somewhere over there is where that cat is. I don't know if it's going to be, it's going to be loud enough to pick up on the mic. Regardless. Yeah, so that's a now fairly well working factory. I say that. I'm just going to slow back time again. So yeah, at the moment I'm only making one car, which is all very well and good. But you're going to want to diversify a little bit because not everyone wants to buy sports cars, perhaps. So then we go into maybe we want to make a... let's say we want to make a pickup. We'll make like a racing pickup. Sure, let's go for that. We will stick some anti-lock brakes in it. We might have to do some changes to the little units that we've got going on. Bull bars at the front. Yes, those are... unique to, I guess, to these sort of cars. We will give it, yeah, you know, you can have cruise control, you can have touchscreen interface, will be modern, some electric windows. These might have even had electric windows, knowing my, knowing my, I'd say it's a little put together. It's just kind of a little bit of a demonstration. That really does make it look like a Raptor. Premium music, sure, we'll stick with that. Power steering, we want that. We'll go with a stop-start engine on this one, sure. We'll go with solid roof. No one likes sunroofs anymore. We'll go basic seats. We'll have some sat nav in there. We can have a... oh! I like that. Yes, I like that. It does slightly make it less usable as a pickup truck. Perhaps not so good. We'll keep it with basic wheels, and what does the different grills look like? I think we'll stick with the mesh, to be honest. And then there we go, and that one there can now be added. So if we... yeah, so that should now be the pickup truck added. So if we go back over here... change schedule, and then we add a new entry. No, not that. Add a new entry, pick up. Add that. Right. Then what we will see is that will start building a pickup truck. So that chassis over there is now for a pickup truck, because like you don't have to retool everything to make a truck. Okay, I know that's slightly less than realistic, but yes, the same thing will make the axles for the pickup truck that will make the axles for the sports car. What have we got as the bottleneck currently? It's actually slowing down on the roof. That's where it sits. I mean, I think even if the roof was quicker, we will still get stuck on the painting. It is now quite stuck up over here. So we can do a similar thing down this bit here if we want to try and get more cars through. Oh, don't want like a big old... We don't want the old paint booths. No, 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 no. And then we can go for dry undercoat, finish, try that. We should still have enough space. It's always one of those where you've got to be really... Well, it's always got to be super careful. Always think about where I'm going to be putting the paint, because I always know that there's a very good chance... I'm going to have to... bull bars, yes, once. I think everything else for that might be bought for the pickup. We'll have to wait and see. Go away. It's the business side of things less important for me, considering what we're doing. Yeah, that's got a bit of whizzing around and so on, and off goes the pickup truck now through the factory. Sometimes, with the way it works, the way we split stuff up with the painting, we might end up seeing the pickup... We might end up having, like, at this point here being a... Oh, do we not have electric windows? I must have forgot to put them on. The, what's it called? Bit. On the sports car. Well, we can have windy windows. Sure, why not? Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to have like an intelligent thing, so deliberately send cars off down this way. There might be. It might be something you can do. The trucks. It seems like it might end up being pickups down this way. Oh no, the sports car's gone down that way as well. Doesn't really matter. They all go out the same place. In the end, they all get to the showroom. They all get sold. And there we go. That is a very, very... I say a very brief look at production line. Oh, that's... Oh, because that's going to be using a normal... Oh, this is a stop-start engine, which I don't have yet, but we'll then stick that in all of them. I'll actually follow the pickup truck through, so I'll make sure I haven't missed out something. Okay, so this will need cruise control. Now, you can... Again, the way that I am doing this is slightly differently, but you could, for example... if you were to control what was built where, you could choose to have stuff go a specific direction and have your sections basically save some money. Have your sections specialised in, you know, some will fit the cruise control, some wouldn't. If you were building like you can make like a cheap basic car production line somewhere. We want heated seats, don't we? I'm buying all because that will buy all the other. That will fix up all the ones around. To make sure that the pickup trucks that go the other way also get a chance. See now, well, that truck's there slowing things down on this little... Oh, there's not a heater. It's not a heater in the sports car. It's fine. We'll just... I'm sure it'll be fine in the convertible. I'm sure the convertible doesn't need a heater. Nah. Nah, I don't think you ever need a heater in a convertible, do you? It'll be... I mean, to be fair, we don't know what country this is in. Right, and off goes the truck. Through there. Another thing that you can get, well, we're unlikely to perhaps see it in this, or unlikely to really see it be affected, but your vehicles can sometimes get defects just in the process of going through here. They will get some defects along the way as potential. You might have to do discounts on that. There's an awful lot of depth to this one at times. The pricing for your cars can be a little bit fiddly. While I absolutely love the designing this sort of side of it. I love making the factory do this. Sometimes I find with the prices for the vehicles, you seem to have to be almost constantly changing the value, or changing how much you're selling your car for it to sell. While there is various fluctuations, you know, are going to happen and whatnot, it seems to be like you're micromanaging that far more than anything else. That's not the most fun for me, personally. I much prefer the designing that goes on here. I very much like this sort of game. I love Factorio because I like this sort of design work, if you will. I would like to be able to set that to go 50-50 straight on in that way, and then if it does go that way and that's full up, it'll go this way. I think it's actually still pretty efficient. This is like a very, very efficient system. Now we've actually got issues with quality control being the thing that is holding it. Although I think that's only because we had a backlog, and I think that will sort itself out. I think that's going quicker than we're making new cars to this section. And if that was a problem, then we'd move the quality control, we'd put 2 in, we'd put a split route so that we could get them to 2 quality controls, and so on and so forth. You just spend forever optimizing. It's a lot of fun. It really is. I highly recommend this game. A while back when I last played it, it's now got a lot more complicated in a good way. There's now a lot more to think about if you want to go for optimum efficiency, shall we say. I don't think I needed that. It's there if we get more efficient earlier on, for example. Or hell, what I could do if I was feeling really mad is this opening sequence. I could then build another one over here, and maybe we could make some supercars. Maybe we could make some compacts, and then they could run down this one here because this isn't too busy at the moment. The possibilities. Yeah, I do. I very much recommend it. The new DLCs are fun. It's nice to have that little bit more variety. Hell, this game was fun when you were making 2 cars, when you had an option of a sedan or a compact. Now you've got an option of a lot more variety. You've got the variants as well, which is interesting. It's nice to see, and I like being able to customize them with the various different components as well. You know, my sports car might use the same body as yours, for example, but you can make them look that little bit different. It's just a really, really good, fun game. So I very much recommend that you go and check this one out. However, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.